welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're getting into something pretty essential, especially if you're somewhere that gets a lot of rain, like, say, Vancouver's West End. We're talking about keeping your home and yard safe from too much water, basically, good drainage. And we're drawing a lot from a really helpful guide by Pacific Blue Mechanical.
Yeah, it's interesting stuff. And what's really key, I think, is how fairly simple ideas can stop, really big problems later on. It's all about keeping your property solid and healthy, which, like you said, is super important in places with heavy rainfall.
Definitely. So let's break it down. Outdoor drainage. What are we actually talking about here? In simple terms.
Right. It's basically smart ways to get rainwater to move away from your house and your yard. So it doesn't hang around and cause trouble like flooding or washing away your soil. It's more than just avoiding puddles.
Okay, so what are the big wins then? What does good drainage actually do for you? Pacific Blue Mechanical had a list, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, several big ones. First off, it stops water from damaging the bottom part of your house, the foundation. That's huge. It also helps prevent mold and mildew from growing inside or outside, which is, bad for your health.
Right. Nobody wants mold. What else?
Well, it saves your garden, stops your nice topsoil and plants from just washing away in a downpour. Plus, it actually makes your home worth more. Good drainage is a selling point, and it keeps away bugs. Mosquitoes love standing water, so getting rid of it helps. And maybe the biggest thing, it helps you avoid really expensive fixes down the road.
That all makes a ton of sense. And you mentioned places like West End, Vancouver. The local weather really plays a big part, doesn't it? All that rain, especially in winter, means you probably need specific solutions there.
Exactly. The amount of water means standard stuff might not cut it. The guide mentions a few common systems that work well in those conditions. Things like French drains.
French drains.
Yeah.
Those are the underground ones.
Yeah, basically. Think of them like hidden pipes, usually surrounded by gravel, buried in the ground. They collect water that soaks into the soil and carry it away from your house. Really good for slopes or soggy spots. Then you've got surface drains.
Okay, what are those?
You've probably seen them. They're the grates you see on driveways or patios, those flat areas. They just catch the water right off the surface and funnel it into a pipe. Pretty straightforward.
And the guide also talked about dry wells, right? What's their role?
Dry wells. They're kind of like big underground buckets, usually filled with gravel, or sometimes they're tanks. They collect rainwater, maybe from your roof gutters or surface drains, and hold it. Then the water slowly soaks into the ground from there. It's a way to manage runoff right on your property, especially if the soil isn't drained super fast.
Okay, so there are different tools for different jobs. How do you figure out which one you need for your yard? And how do you, keep it working?
Good questions. Choosing the right system really depends on your specific yard, the slope, the soil where the water tends to go. Pacific Blue Mechanical actually recommends getting a professional look, but once it's in, keeping it working is mostly about regular checks.
Like what kind of checks?
Pretty simple stuff, usually. The guide suggests looking at everything at least twice a year. Check for blockages, leaves, dirt, that kind of thing. Especially before the rainy season hits, make sure those grates and pipes are clear, clean them out. Doing that little bit of upkeep really saves you money and headaches in the long run. It stops small clogs turning into big wet problems.
Right, a little prevention goes a long way. So summing it up, a good drainage system is kind of like an unsung hero for your house and yard. Keeps everything safe, dry, healthy, looking good, especially critical in rainy spots like West End.
Absolutely. It's foundational protection. And, thinking about how these engineered systems work, it kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? If good drainage helps so much, what other simple, maybe more natural things could you do in your yard, like with plants or landscaping, to help it handle rain better on its own? Something to think about.